This is me, Cajun Geyser, or better known as Infantry Soldier, and I am here to showcase, or rather, give a quick tutorial on how to use artillery. Now, first, when you're attempting to create an artillery position, you want to make sure which direction you want to fire in. So let's run to about, like, negative 200x. There we go. And we want to start firing in that direction. So how we orient this properly is we face opposite to the direction that we want it to be firing and then place. Now sometimes it's off at a weird angle, so you have to kind of adjust for that. And yeah, that seems fine. So the unfortunate thing is you cannot collect these once you've already placed them, so make sure that that is the correct position that you want it to be firing from. So now that you have placed the guns, you're going to have some options. You can either use an AP shell or you can use an HE shell. Now, AP shells are different from HE shells in one major distinction. These are for penetrating through tanks, and these are for like killing infantry or causing environmental destruction. So, depending on the sort of task that you're planning on doing, you may either use the AP or the HE. For this demonstration, we're just going to use the AP shells, causes a lot less lag, and yeah, basically what you want to do is hold it in your hotbar, and then click L2 on PlayStation or right click on PC, and that should load it. You have to wait a little while, and then when you either see that little thing at the bottom saying AP shell loaded, or if you see that the barrel of the gun is pulsating, that indicates that you are ready to fire. So let us rip. Now, artillery goes an awful lot longer of a distance than you or I can even feasibly shoot. So you want to be using these effectively. The unfortunate thing is, of course, you cannot rotate these. However, you can change the elevation. Now, currently this is set at 0 degrees elevation. These can go anywhere from like right up in front of the target to, or right in front of the gun, to about like 70 to 100 blocks. That is quite far. However, you can increase this by using this wrench device to change the elevation of the gun. And we're going to see the effect of that now. See how it shoots at a much higher angle, and it shoots much further. Now, if you remember from math class about parabolas, there is a limitation to this. You cannot just set it to 60 degrees and expect to go 100 miles or so. Instead, um, it begins to drop off in available distance, or possible maximum distance, after a certain degree point. And I will show you this right now. So 10 degrees, like I said, it goes much further than 0 degrees. And that would be about like 100 to 150 blocks maximum in firing range. Of course, the actual firing is randomized to some degree, so you're not going to get the same shot every time. However, still, for area effect, it is very good at its task. So, let us switch it to 20 degrees. Now, I would say about 20 to 30 degrees is the sweet spot, depending on what sort of terrain that you're faced up against. Like if there's a mountain or some hills in the way, you might want to switch which elevation that you're going to be firing with. However, I would stick to 20 to 30 degrees if you're just firing on like a sort of flat plane like this. But yeah, 20 to 30 goes the furthest. That is, of course, if you're trying to hit a target that's awfully far away. Typically, you will want to be as far as possible from the target so that your position does not get overrun by your enemy, who you'll not want to be constantly having to fight off with your small arms while you're also trying to reload and fire at them. So yeah, let's rip it. I think it was 30 degrees. You can already see that's a oh, that's a massive change in elevation, and it goes about 200-ish blocks. See, the crater is much further than the two craters that we had earlier at the 0 degree elevation, and a little bit further than the one at 10 degrees. However, the other degrees are not completely useless. 40 degrees, 50 degrees, and 60 degrees, although there's a small decrement in the distance that they're able to fire. Uh, so like 60 degrees, which I'm about to showcase right now, shoots to about like 100-ish, 150-ish blocks. As you can see, it isn't going as far as the 20 degrees. However, the one good thing about this is if you're firing towards a target that is either behind some sort of like city walls or some other obstacles, with the arcing motion that it performs, you can shoot over their defenses or the terrain and hit your target while they possibly can't even see where you're possibly firing from. So, this is a quick demonstration on how to properly use your artillery. There are, of course, few guns that are available to us. However, they, in my testing, perform the exact same. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and have yourselves a wonderful day or night. I don't care.